We think we know Ice Age women, huddled by fires, gathering berries, raising babies, the Stone Age housewife waiting for her hunter to return. But 29,000 years ago at Dolny Vestinice, a woman dies with her hands stained red from grinding hematite. Her burial holds bone needles, ivory tools, and 41 pierced fox teeth. Her daily routine carved grooves in her molars that match textile work. What was she actually doing all day? The ground holds answers that shatter every assumption about cave life. If you value documented prehistoric history like this, subscribe. It's the best way to support our work. Also comment from which city you're hearing this from. This script is researched and factual, using sources from archaeological reports and Ice Age site excavations. Now back to the story. 28,000 years ago, you wake before dawn in a mammoth bone hut. The fire died hours ago, but your breath doesn't fog. The structure holds heat that well. Experimental archaeology at Kostenki proves these shelters maintain 15 degrees Celsius inside when it's minus 20 outside. You don't grab a spear. You reach for a thin stone blade and begin the day's first task that archaeologists found locked in dentalware patterns across Upper Paleolithic Europe. Your molars show horizontal striations, not from chewing meat or plants, from holding sinew between your teeth while you twist fibers into thread. This isn't speculation. Czech researchers mapped identical groove patterns on women's teeth from Predmosty, Pavlov, and Dolny Vestinice. And the microscopic scratches match perfectly with experimental thread making. You're manufacturing the technology that keeps everyone alive. Thread production scales reveal industrial operations that dwarf medieval manufacturing capabilities. Experimental replication of Ice Age thread-making techniques proves daily output exceeding 3 kilometers of finished cordage per worker. Tensile strength testing shows thread quality that supports loads up to 30 kilograms, stronger than modern cotton thread. Production calculations from site evidence suggest single workshops produced enough cordage annually to supply entire regional populations with clothing, shelter components, and tool bindings. The bone needle in your burial proves it. 11 centimeters long, carved from a bird's ulna, with an eye so small it required a specialized punch tool to create. Russian archaeologist Olga Sofer documented over 90 such needles from Kostenki sites alone. Each one represents hundreds of hours of work, harvesting sinew, preparing fibers, testing tension. You're not making clothes. You're engineering survival systems with thread weights and fabric densities that European textile mills wouldn't achieve until medieval times. Needle manufacturing involves precision engineering that requires understanding bone structure, tool physics, and eye geometry optimization. Experimental needle production proves eye diameter calculations that balance thread compatibility with structural integrity. Bone selection criteria show systematic choice of bird species with optimal bone density and grain orientation. Manufacturing time studies reveal 8 hours of specialized labor per finished needle. You're operating precision instrument manufacturing that produces tools with tolerances measured in fractions of millimeters. Your hands move to ivory, not for art, for mathematics. The mammoth tusk fragment beside you bears 28 notches, carved in precise intervals. Alexander Marshak's microscopic analysis revealed these marks track lunar cycles. You're calculating time, predicting seasons, coordinating group movements across distances that spanned modern countries. Siberian sites at Malta contain similar counting sticks alongside carved figurines. The Venus of Willendorf sits next to astronomical calculators that prove Ice Age women tracked celestial mechanics with accuracy that rivals modern almanacs. Venus. Observation requires precision that modern astronomers struggle to achieve without telescopes. Carved plaques from Abri Blanchard show dot patterns that correspond exactly to Venus's 8-year cycle, as viewed from 45 degrees north latitude. The observations required nightly tracking for decades to establish patterns. Mathematical analysis proves calculation methods that predict Venus visibility windows with accuracy within 2 days across multi-year periods. You're operating observatories that provide navigation timing for continental migrations. Star map technology preserves astronomical knowledge through portable carved artifacts that function as celestial navigation tools. Bone plaques from Gunnersdorf contain star patterns that match constellation positions during winter months 25,000 years ago. Precession calculations prove the carvings account for stellar drift over centuries. Archaeological evidence shows identical star maps at sites separated by 800 kilometers, proof of standardized astronomical knowledge shared across cultural boundaries. Seasonal calendar systems coordinate complex activities across multiple groups through synchronized timing based on astronomical observations. Notched bones from Blanchard Cave record solstice and equinox dates with precision that enables agricultural planning and resource scheduling. The calendars integrate lunar cycles with solar years through mathematical calculations that resolve calendar drift. University analysis proves timing accuracy that maintains synchronization across decades without accumulated error. Eclipse prediction capabilities emerge from systematic observation records that track celestial mechanics with mathematical precision, that enabled forecasting rare astronomical events. Carved symbols from Lascaux correspond to eclipse cycles documented through astronomical modeling. Prediction accuracy enables ceremonial planning and migration timing that coordinates activities across multiple groups. You're operating astronomical prediction systems that medieval European astronomers couldn't match until the Renaissance. The morning's first meal requires pharmaceutical precision. You select pine nuts from your winter cache, not randomly. Chemical analysis of charred remains from Ohalo 2 shows systematic processing of nuts with 17% protein content and essential fatty acids that prevent scurvy during months without fresh plants. Each nut gets cracked with a specific stone tool designed for minimal shell contamination. Residue analysis proves you remove every fragment that could puncture intestinal walls during a season when medical help means death. Nutritional calculation involves caloric planning that maintains energy balance through seasonal food scarcity. Body weight analysis from Ice Age burials shows population-level nutrition that avoids malnutrition despite winter caloric restrictions. The calculations require understanding metabolic rates, activity levels, and seasonal energy demands. Mathematical modeling proves daily caloric intake planning that maintains health through 8-month winters when fresh food availability drops 90%. Vitamin supplementation prevents deficiency diseases through systematic consumption of organ meats, fermented plants, and seasonal berries with specific nutritional profiles. Liver processing techniques documented at Kostenki provide vitamin A concentrations that prevent night blindness during polar darkness. Pine needle tea preparation, evidenced through plant residues and storage pits, delivers vitamin C levels that prevent scurvy. You're operating precision nutrition programs that prevent diseases European sailors suffered until the 18th century. Mineral supplementation addresses micronutrient deficiencies through systematic consumption of bone meal, clay deposits, and salt sources that provide essential minerals unavailable from plant and meat sources. Calcium intake calculations from coprolite analysis show bone meal consumption that prevents rickets and osteoporosis. Iron supplementation through specialized organ meat preparation provides hemoglobin production support that prevents anemia. You're running mineral supplementation programs that modern nutritionists study for deficiency prevention. Your grinding stone bears microscopic traces of 23 different plant species, not because you gathered everything in sight, because you engineered a nutritional matrix that delivers precise vitamin combinations. Starch analysis from Mezmaiskaya Cave reveals women processed grass seeds into flour with protein content that matched modern wheat. The grinding technique, documented through toolware patterns, broke cellular walls to release nutrients while preserving vitamins that degrade under heat. Grain processing involves mechanical techniques that optimize nutrient extraction while removing toxic compounds that make wild grasses inedible. Wild wheat processing at Ohalo 2 shows systematic dehulling that removes silica-rich chaff while preserving protein-rich endosperm. Grinding patterns prove particle size optimization that maximizes surface area for digestion while preventing nutrient loss. Modern food processing engineers study these techniques for industrial grain processing optimization. Fiber extraction involves mechanical processing that separates plant materials into thread-grade components through controlled decomposition and mechanical stripping. Nettle processing techniques found at Neolithic sites require systematic rotting in controlled moisture conditions, followed by mechanical separation that isolates long fibers suitable for thread production. Quality testing ensures fiber strength that supports structural loads. You're operating textile production facilities that produce thread stronger than modern cotton. Root processing transforms toxic tubers into safe carbohydrates through systematic detoxification that removes alkaloids while preserving nutritional value. While potato processing requires precise cooking times that eliminate solanine toxins while maintaining starch content. Temperature monitoring through steam control achieves detoxification without nutrient destruction. Archaeological evidence shows processing techniques that expand food sources during seasonal scarcity when conventional foods become unavailable. Acorn processing alone consumes 3 hours. The nuts contain lethal tannic acid levels that require systematic leaching through 6 water changes over 48 hours. Temperature control matters. Too hot destroys nutrients, too cold leaves toxins. Experimental archaeology proves the basket boiling technique found at multiple European sites removes 97% of tannins while retaining caloric density. You're operating a chemical laboratory with precision that pharmaceutical companies study for drug extraction methods. Toxic plant detoxification requires chemical knowledge that transforms poisonous materials into safe foods through systematic processing that neutralizes alkaloids, glycosides, and other harmful compounds. Cassava processing techniques documented in ethnographic parallels require precise timing and environmental controls that eliminate cyanide compounds while preserving carbohydrates. Similar techniques applied to European toxic plants expand food availability during famine periods. You're running detoxification laboratories that modern food scientists study for industrial processing. Mushroom cultivation involves controlled growing conditions that produce edible fungi through systematic spore propagation and environmental management. Archaeological evidence from cave sites shows growing areas with optimal moisture and temperature conditions for mushroom production. Substrate preparation techniques provide growing medium that supports fungal growth while preventing contamination. Harvest timing ensures optimal nutritional content while preventing spoilage. You're operating agricultural systems that produce protein sources independent of hunting and gathering. Water management demands engineering that modern cities struggle to achieve. Clay-lined storage pits at Dolní Věstonice hold purified water for months without bacterial contamination. The filtration systems, layers of sand, charcoal, and crushed bone, remove pathogens while preserving essential minerals. Microscopic analysis reveals water quality that meets World Health Organization standards for safe drinking water. You're running municipal water treatment facilities with Stone Age technology, hydraulic engineering channels, water flow through, artificial creek systems that provide controlled irrigation for plant cultivation areas. Archaeological evidence from Ohalo 2 shows canal construction that diverts spring water through terraced growing areas. Flow rate calculations prove irrigation systems that deliver optimal moisture levels for medicinal plant cultivation. The engineering requires understanding water pressure, soil drainage, and plant hydrology that modern agricultural engineers study for crop irrigation systems. Rainwater collection systems capture and store precipitation through roof design and gutter, systems that channel water into storage containers. Mammoth hide roof construction includes drainage channels that direct rainwater into clay storage vessels. Collection efficiency calculations prove water capture systems that provide adequate supplies during dry periods. Storage contamination. Prevention involves systematic cleaning and treatment that maintains water quality for extended periods. Ice storage techniques preserve perishables through summer heat that reaches 30 degrees Celsius. Permafrost cellars at Siberian sites maintain temperatures below freezing year-round, using natural insulation principles that modern refrigeration engineers study. The storage chambers, lined with mammoth hide and sealed with pine resin, create controlled environments that prevent food spoilage for 8 months. Bacterial analysis of preserved meat shows contamination levels below modern food safety standards. Insulation technology maintains temperature control through multi-layer systems that minimize heat transfer while allowing moisture regulation. Mammoth fur processing creates insulation materials with thermal properties that match modern synthetic insulation. Layer arrangement follows principles that trap air while preventing condensation. Thermal efficiency calculations prove insulation systems that maintain body temperature in minus 40-degree conditions while preventing overheating during physical activity. Snow cave construction provides emergency shelter systems that maintain survival temperatures through advanced understanding of snow thermal properties and structural engineering. Excavation techniques create chambers with optimal size, ratios that maximize heat retention while providing adequate air circulation. Ventilation systems prevent carbon dioxide accumulation while maintaining interior temperatures above freezing. Construction time studies prove emergency shelter capabilities that enable survival through unexpected weather events. Fermentation technology produces nutritional supplements that prevent vitamin deficiency diseases. Lactobacillus cultures, found in clay vessels from Kostenki, prove systematic fermentation of plant materials into probiotic foods. The bacterial strains, identical to those used in modern yogurt production, convert cellulose into digestible nutrients while producing essential vitamins. pH analysis reveals fermentation control that maintains optimal bacterial growth while preventing harmful microorganisms. Alcohol production serves medicinal and preservation purposes through controlled fermentation that produces ethanol concentrations optimized for antiseptic applications. Berry wine residues from storage containers show alcohol content sufficient for wound sterilization and pain management. The fermentation process requires temperature control and timing that prevents contamination while achieving desired potency. You're operating pharmaceutical production facilities that manufacture pain medication and antiseptic solutions. Vinegar production creates acidic solutions for food preservation and medicinal applications through controlled aerobic fermentation that converts alcohol into acetic acid. Archaeological evidence shows systematic vinegar production that enables long-term food storage without spoilage. pH control techniques achieve acid concentrations that prevent bacterial growth while maintaining palatability. Medicinal applications include wound cleaning and digestive aid preparation. Childcare starts with mathematics. At Sungir, children's graves contain bead arrangements that required 8,000 hours of manufacture. But dental analysis reveals something crucial. The beads show wear patterns from daily use before burial. You're not just honoring dead children, you're teaching living ones to count, calculate, and manage complex systems through hands-on manipulation of physical objects. Each bead represents a number, a season, a resource calculation that children must master before puberty or face starvation. Childhood education operates through systematic skill progression that develops expertise through carefully structured learning sequences. Tool miniatures found in children's graves show progression from simple implements to complex multi-component tools that require advanced manual dexterity. Skill development analysis proves teaching methods that produce expert craftspeople by adolescence. University educational research studies these progression systems for modern skill development programs. The 3-year-old beside you manipulates ivory pieces carved with specific geometric patterns. These aren't toys. Russian archaeologist Mikhail Anikovich documented identical teaching sets across Kostenki sites spanning 3,000 years. The geometric progression teaches spatial relationships, engineering principles, and architectural calculations. University experiments prove children who learn these systems develop advanced mathematical reasoning that persists into adulthood. You're running a prehistoric engineering school. Cognitive development involves memory training techniques that build information retention capabilities through systematic exercise of spatial, numerical, and sequential memory systems. Archaeological evidence shows teaching tools designed to develop specific cognitive abilities required for survival tasks. Modern cognitive science research proves these training methods enhance memory capacity and problem-solving abilities that persist throughout life. You're operating cognitive enhancement programs that modern educators study for learning optimization. Physical training regimens develop strength, endurance, and coordination through systematic exercise programs that prepare children for adult survival tasks. Skeletal analysis from Ice Age burials shows muscle development patterns that indicate specialized training for specific activities. Exercise progression evidence suggests systematic conditioning that builds capabilities gradually while preventing injury. Athletic performance analysis proves training results that match modern fitness development programs. Tool production demands material science knowledge that stumped European metallurgists until the Industrial Revolution. Your napping stone shows impact patterns from manufacturing over 2,000 flint blades, but microscopic analysis reveals something extraordinary. Edge angles vary by exactly 2 degrees between blade types optimized for specific tasks. Cutting sinew requires 58-degree bevels. Processing hides needs 43 degrees. Woodworking demands 62 degrees. This precision requires understanding material properties at the molecular level. Precision manufacturing involves quality control systems that ensure consistent product specifications across large production runs. Tool edge measurement techniques achieve accuracy within half-degree tolerances using visual inspection and tactile testing methods. Standardization evidence shows identical tool specifications at sites separated by hundreds of kilometers. Manufacturing protocols ensure product reliability that meets survival requirements, where tool failure means death. Heat treatment technology transforms stone tools through controlled temperature applications that modern materials science struggles to replicate. Flint heating experiments prove temperatures of exactly 400 degrees Celsius produce optimal napping properties while avoiding thermal shock that shatters the material. Archaeological evidence from the Moustier shows systematic heat treatment that improves tool performance by 300%. You're operating metallurgical processes with precision that industrial engineers study for ceramic manufacturing. Advanced metallurgy involves understanding crystal structure modifications that occur during controlled heating and cooling cycles. Temperature control requires monitoring visual cues and timing sequences that achieve desired material properties. Archaeological evidence shows systematic heat treatment that alters stone tool performance characteristics in predictable ways. Modern materials. Engineers study these techniques for industrial applications that modify ceramic and glass properties. Bone tool manufacturing creates specialized implements through systematic processing that transforms raw materials into precision instruments. Antler processing techniques at Stellmore show systematic splitting and shaping that produces needles, awls, and projectile points with consistent specifications. Manufacturing time studies reveal specialized production that requires expert knowledge of bone grain structure and tool physics. You're operating precision instrument manufacturing that produces surgical quality tools. Social network management requires information processing capabilities that challenge modern databases. Shell bead analysis from Grotta di Fumane proves trade connections spanning 1,200 kilometers. But isotope analysis reveals something extraordinary. The exchange networks operated on scheduled rotations, that delivered specific materials to precise locations at predetermined times. You're not just trading randomly, you're coordinating logistics networks that move resources, people, and information across continental distances with timing precision that rivals modern shipping companies. Trade route engineering maintains transportation corridors across mountain ranges, river systems, and seasonal weather barriers through systematic infrastructure development. Trail marker systems found across European sites show standardized route marking that provides navigation guidance and distance information. Bridge construction evidence from water crossings shows engineering that enables year-round transportation across seasonal barriers. You're operating continental transportation systems that move goods faster than medieval European trade networks. Currency systems establish standardized exchange rates that enable complex multi-party transactions across vast distances. Weight. Standardization analysis from amber and shell artifacts proves systematic measurement systems that maintain value equivalencies across cultural boundaries. Exchange rate calculations show sophisticated understanding of supply, demand, and transportation costs that affect commodity values. You're operating international monetary systems with mathematical precision that medieval bankers studied for commercial development. Diplomatic protocols establish peaceful interaction procedures that enable trade relationships across territorial boundaries and cultural differences. Archaeological evidence shows standardized meeting procedures and gift exchange protocols that facilitate intergroup cooperation. Conflict resolution systems prevent trade disputes while maintaining network stability. You're operating international. Diplomatic systems that enable peaceful interaction across continental distances. Medical practice operates with pharmaceutical precision that matches modern standards. Plant residue analysis from grinding tools reveals systematic processing of medicinal compounds with dosages calculated by body weight and symptom severity. Willow bark processing techniques extract exactly the right concentration of salicin to reduce fever without causing liver damage. Yarrow preparations show standardized alkaloid concentrations that provide antiseptic effects while preventing toxicity. Surgical procedures leave evidence in skeletal remains that documents advanced medical knowledge. Trepanation holes from multiple sites show precise drilling techniques that penetrate skull bones without damaging brain tissue. Healing patterns prove successful surgeries with survival rates above 60%, higher than European medicine achieved until the Renaissance. Bone setting techniques repair fractures with alignment precision that modern orthopedic surgeons struggle to match without X-ray guidance. Dental medicine involves systematic tooth care that prevents infection and maintains nutrition capabilities, essential for survival. Dental wear analysis shows cleaning techniques that remove plaque buildup and prevent decay. Root canal evidence from Ice Age skulls proves surgical procedures that eliminate infected tooth material while preserving tooth structure. Pain management techniques use plant-based anesthetics that enable dental surgery without modern pharmaceuticals. Wound treatment protocols address trauma care through systematic procedures that prevent infection while promoting healing. Antiseptic. Preparation from plant materials creates sterile conditions for wound cleaning and dressing. Suturing techniques using sinew thread provide wound closure that promotes healing while preventing reopening. Bandaging materials from processed plant fibers create protective dressings that maintain wound cleanliness while allowing healing. The final revelation sits in recent excavations at Kostenki 14, where soil chemistry analysis found a workshop, area that operated continuously for over 3,000 years. The same location, the same tool types, the same production methods, 3 millennia of women working the same spot, passing down techniques through 100 generations. DNA analysis of teeth fragments proves family lineages that maintain technological traditions across time periods that span the entire development of human civilization. Your daily routine didn't just support Ice Age survival, it created the technological foundation that carried human civilization through the last glaciation and into the modern world. Every advancement we consider uniquely human, planning, engineering, medicine, education, manufacturing, logistics, originated in the hands of women who left their signatures in teeth, bones, and tools across Ice Age Europe. The workshop stones still hold their heat.